Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us on Nationwide, reaching you on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. President Muhammadu Buhari is in Abu Dhabi, the United Arab Emirates, ahead of his meeting with the new president of the country, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. State House correspondent Adam Sambu has the story.
President Muhammadu Buhari arrived Abu Dhabi International Airport about 10:30 Thursday evening local time. On hand to accord him a befitting welcome were senior officials of the UAE government led by the Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Sheikh Shakbud Nahyan Al Nahyan. Others were the Nigerian ambassador to the Arab nation, ministers of communications and digital economy, FCT and Aviation, Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, National Security Advisor, Director General, National Intelligence Agency, and other senior government officials. The Nigerian leader is here to formally convey his condolences to the government and people of the UAE on the passing of the former president and ruler of Abu Dhabi, Sheikh Khalifa bin Zayed Al Nahyan. He is also expected to extend his congratulations to the new president, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan, and renew bonds of long-standing friendship between Nigeria and the UAE. Under the new leadership, President Buhari looks forward to a bigger and stronger partnerships for peace, stability, and prosperity of both countries.
There are so many things that bring Nigeria and UAE together. At the personal level, when President Buhari came to office in 2015, he instantly struck the same chemistry. He struck friendship with the Prince Mohammed, the then Crown Prince, who has just been elected as president of the UAE and ruler of Abu Dhabi. And together between themselves, they have been able to bring our two countries together. They have struck a number of agreements, have been signed, MOUs and agreements up to 9. We have 8 in the works in view about to be signed. Before this time, there had never been any MOU or agreement between Nigeria and the UAE. UAE has become and has been recognized globally, not only as a financial hub, but also a manufacturing hub. They have seen the need to be on the same side with Nigeria in dealing with security, in the belief that security for Nigeria is security for Africa. We just had a new military and a naval warship commissioned for the Nigerian Navy, and it's on the sale to Nigeria as we speak now. Nigerian Army has bought more than 100 MRAPs. So there's a lot of procurement that is going on, and the relationship has been good. This visit, we are hoping, would make things even better for the two countries.
President Buhari is expected back in Abuja on Saturday. From Abu Dhabi, United Arab Emirates, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
From diplomacy, we go to politics, where the president of the Senate and APC presidential aspirant Ahmed Lawan says security will be among his priorities if elected in the forthcoming 2023 general elections. He stated this while addressing delegates in Katsina ahead of the APC presidential primary. Awal Halliru reports.
The visit of the President of the Senate and presidential aspirant under the platform of the APC is to hold consultation with delegates to canvass their support during the party's primary. He urged the delegates to cooperate and support his ambition to secure the presidential ticket under the APC for the 2023 general elections.
I have the capacity, that I have the ability, that I have the training, that I have the audacity and the courage to stay in that office in Abuja, in the villa, to lead the affairs of this country with people like you around me.
The presidential aspirant explained that considering his vast experience in the National Assembly, the focus of his administration, if given the mandate, will be on security, agriculture, and education. Katsina State Governor Aminu Bello Masari acknowledged the contribution of the President of the Senate to the unity in the National Assembly.
You don't need to come, because whatever is possible, whatever we can do for you, we will do it.
The state APC chairman Sana Aliu Dora pledged support to ensure purposeful leadership in the country. Awan Halaru, NTA News.
As political activities gather momentum, the All Progressives Congress Diaspora Supporters Forum is preaching peaceful conduct among key actors. Salihu Gwanara reports that at a forum in Abuja, stakeholders of the party recommitted themselves to the path of peace.
This is a common sight in an election year where people of same political family and ambition come together to champion their cause. As such, achieving peaceful pre-election processes and proper application of rules by the APC in all its dealings were dominant issues here.
Our collective dream is to build a nation that we all can be proud of. A nation of justice, equity, and rule of law, where life and property are safe and secure.
Please exude this confidence, this manner, this youth who are from the has
bring them back to Nigeria to come and talk to their people so that we'll be able to have the right candidates on board 2023.
The stakeholders' position to sustain the progressive ideology of APC beyond 2023 remain unchanged. In Abuja, Salihu Gwanara, NTA News.
The chairman of the People's Democratic Party, PDP 2023 National Convention Organizing Committee, Senator David Mark, has urged party faithful across the country to imbibe the spirit of sportsmanship in the conduct of the exercise. In a statement issued ahead of the party primaries, which begins with the election of candidates for the state houses of assembly seats on Saturday, May 21st, 2022, Senator Mark enjoined party men and women to comply with the rules of the game. He assured of a level playing field for all aspirants, saying whoever emerged from the open and transparent elections must be the choice of the people. The statement further urged aspirants and their supporters alike to refrain from combative or inflammatory statements to avoid unnecessary provocation, even as he expressed confidence in the party that the party will produce the best candidates for the elections in 2023. And in Akwa Ibom State, the governor and presidential aspirants on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, Emmanuel Udom, says all efforts will be geared towards re-engineering the nation's security apparatus to tackle insecurity head-on, while the economy will also be repositioned to stimulate development if given the country's mantle of leadership in the next dispensation. The presidential aspirant disclosed this in Minna, the Niger State capital, in continuation of his nationwide consultations with delegates ahead of the party's primaries. Suleiman Kudogi reports.
Governor Emmanuel Udom of Akwa Ibom State, one of the presidential aspirants under the platform of People's Democratic Party's campaign trend, entered Niger State with a promise to reposition all the nation's sectors of economy, propel employment and wealth creation among the youth. The forum, which is an interactive one, also afforded the presidential aspirant to present his styling qualities and a record of achievements that qualifies him for the #1 job.
I'm the only governor so far as of today that has invested so much in electrical power. What I'm doing right now, if I control the policy, and we are given the chance for me to replicate it at the national scale, this issue of power that is eluding, electrical power, that's eluding this country. We make it look like rocket science.
PDP chieftains and other party loyalists in the state assured the presidential aspirant, Governor Emmanuel Udom, of their support and expressed confidence in his ability to redirect the country on the right path. In Mina, Philemon Kodogi, NTA News.
A breach of the peace was today averted by security forces in Giri, Gwagwalada Area Council of Abuja, as a result of the new electoral law extending council chairman's tenure to 4 years. This led aggrieved party loyalists to block the Giri Expressway. Serafina Okun-Umekwe completes the report.
Elected FCT Area Council chairman ought to be sworn into office today, but all that seemed to be a mirage with the new electoral law by the Federal High Court Abuja extending their tenure of council chairman from 3 to 4 years. This judgment seemed not to go down well with some party loyalists.
We must obey the court order as a citizen of this country. But truly, we are not happy with this, the indigent, we are not happy. But please, the federal government should do the needful. We expect the 3 years, they should complete their 3 years because their certificate is reading 3 years, not 4 years. If any 4 years should be happening, should be the next term contest, not now.
Gwagwalada Area Council Police Chief Nana Garba assured residents, business owners of their safety.
We are able to disperse them from the road, which we pray that is the end of it. But the information at our disposal right now is they are coming to attack the area council, that they are going to get their place burned and the party office. So we have to sweep into action, which I immediately moved to the area council to fortify the area.
A stopover at the area council, we saw no momentum of violence or tension, but as it is, elected chairman would have no option but to wait for another 1 year. Serafina Okun-Umekwe, NTA News.
The Cross River State Judiciary Service Reform Committee wants the state government to effect the implementation of the judiciary autonomy already signed into law. Paul Abel reports that this is one of the recommendations of the committee submitted to Governor Ben Ayade 2 weeks after its inauguration.
2 weeks after the Cross River State Government's Committee to review the welfare of judicial officers and magistrates was inaugurated, this presentation shows conclusion of the job with findings and recommendations, among which is for the state government to provide generating thirds for judicial officers to work even after official closing hours, and a medical care for retired judges, as well as increasing salaries of judges and magistrates by 150% respectively.
Its latest legacy constantly can leave for the judiciary and the states is to begin to implement the law which you signed in the judiciary, the financial autonomy law.
We believe that this report will form a basis for a corruption-free judiciary. We believe that this will form a basis for which the inducements and challenges that have characterized the Nigerian space. So we need to also discuss this further to see whether an absolute autonomy in the circumstance of Cross River State will do you good or harm.
The governor also urged the committee to compress the report into a single-page document within 1 week for effective implementation. In Calabar, Paul Abel, NTA News.
Time now to join Adeola in Lagos studio for more reports on Nationwide. It's over to you, Adeola.
Thank you, Lami. The forthcoming governorship election in Lagos State presents a unique opportunity for the people to ask pertinent questions on how the resources of the state can be owned and used in their overall interest. Former Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources at Lagos State, Mr. Olawale Aluko, stated this while declaring his intention to contest for the gubernatorial ticket on the platform of the All Progressives Congress.
Ahead of the 2023 general elections, the race for Alausa, the seat of power in Lagos State, is on, and considering its status both in national governance and commerce, the question of who leads is a crucial one. Declaring his interest to run for the office of governor at Imedia Pali in Lagos, former Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources, Olawale Oluwo said he is ready for a fair competition to get the ticket of the ruling party. The huge task before the next set of leaders, he says, is to effectively marry the aspirations and interests of vast majority of Lagos State residents with the manifesto of the party and deliver such with people-centered reforms in the area of power, security, transportation, and promotion of commerce.
I want to return the wealth of the people of Lagos to them because they are the true owners of the wealth of Lagos. I want to involve the youth in governance. This will prepare them for a fast-track leadership takeover transition.
While describing himself as the face of a new leadership that the state requires, the aspirant called on party members to unite behind his aspiration for the party to retain power in the state.
And I use this opportunity to humbly solicit their support to choose me as the preferred flag bearer of the party. And then we deliver the Lagos that we believe will work for all of us.
As an advocate of power reforms, the aspirant believes Lagos must enjoy energy security by taking full ownership of the entire value chain of energy generation and distribution. Born in July 1966, Olawale Oluwo, a successful banking and financial sector player, is a former cabinet member following Ambode-led administration in Lagos State. Adeni Itaiwo, NTA News.
And from electoral matters, we'll move on to other matters. The seemingly impossible scenario for harmonization in valuation of vehicles at seaports, has paved way for the introduction of a reviewed vehicle identification number automation portal by the Nigerian Customs Service. The area controller at Apapa Customs Command, Comptroller Malanta Yusuf, while intimating concerned stakeholders on the initiative, said the policy will largely reduce human contact and value differential. Abolade Salami reports.
The Nigerian Customs Service, in an effort to unify valuation of goods at declaration points to aid accountability in line with international best practices, introduced the Vehicle Identification Number Valuation System. The development caused hostile reactions from agents as a result of over 100% increase in price of duties. In resolving the impasse, the service organized a series of stakeholders meetings aimed at reaching an agreement on best possible ways to implement the automated vehicle identification number valuation system.
Take these procedures very, 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 very attentively.
Benefits of the automotive system include promotion of ease of doing business, facilitation of legitimate trade, and reduction of human contact in valuation process.
This kind of application will unify assessment of value from all commands for all vehicles, different brands, and ensure that accurate duty is being paid.
As a well-thought-out plan to clean the system of unauthorized payments at declaration points and entry of vehicles below government-approved years, stakeholders, freight forwarders, and clearing agents have been identified as huge benefactors of the initiative.
We have considered all the variants, all the series of all the vehicles. You'll be happy that what you are going to get today will be more favorable to you than what you've been getting before.
Stakeholders described the automated system as timely, with a call on all concerned to comply with the process in the interest of promoting trade facilitation.
The issue of compliance is a two-way thing. It is give and take. Allow people, when they are compliant, do not discourage them.
The vehicle identification number valuation system, customs say, will be put on regular review to accommodate present-day realities. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/alllive and on all other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Nationwide will continue after this break.
Now, the Sokoto state government has lifted the ban it imposed on Sokoto metropolis. A statement by the Commissioner of Information and Orientation, Isa Bajini Galadanchi, says This is in accordance with the provisions of the Constitution of Nigeria and Sokoto State Peace Preservation Law. The governor urged people in the state to be law-abiding and remain peaceful as a necessary foundation for meaningful developments. Government has, however, banned all forms of processions until further notice. The curfew was imposed to curtail breach of the peace in the metropolis as a result of students' unrest at the Shehu Shagari College of Education, Sokoto. We're now going to join Shehu Dutsi live in Sokoto via phone to give us an update on the situation there. Shehu, thank you for joining us on Nationwide.
All right, thank you.
Now, tell us, what is the atmosphere like there in Sokoto after the lifting of the curfew by the state government?
Well, actually, the atmosphere is calm. People are calm, going about their normal businesses. Even before the lifting of the curfew, people do go about their normal businesses because of the curfew, and now rest their businesses and normal activities by 6 o'clock. But with the lifting of the curfew now, people are going about their normal businesses. I can see smiles on their face, being happy that the curfew has been lifted.
Now, what is the reaction you're getting from the various segments of the society following these new developments? Are they showing any emotions or actions concerning the recent lifting of the curfew by the government?
Well, actually, the only action, that I can see is people are happy. They are now happy that they can extend their normal businesses and normal things they do on a daily basis from 6 up maybe 10. Depending on the time they close their shops and other activities they do. That is the only thing. But there are no emotions or actions that warrant to any other thing that is bringing unrest. I can actually see the presence of security personnel at the hotspot. I'm right standing along Ahmadu Bello, where most of the traffic is are situated, and along Emir Haya Road as well. People are still going about their normal businesses without any fear of anything.
Thank you very much, Shehu, for the update.
All right, thank you very much. We'll now hand you over to Asma in the studio for more on Nationwide.
Good evening and welcome to Nationwide from Sokoto Network Center. Nigerian Correctional Training College Makira in Birnin Kebbi State has graduated 100 officers on Human Development course. Muhammad Abubakar reports that the trainees are the first set of graduates of the college.
This is dismantling of the flag at the Correctional Training College in Birnin Kebbi, which symbolizes the end of the 3-month course for DSC on Human Development. The Comptroller General Nigerian Correctional Services representative said the training college is saddled with the responsibility of training officers on reformation, rehabilitation, and reintegration of the inmates for the security of the country. He added that it is in line with the inmates management policy that the agency currently enrolled over 900 inmates to study various courses in the Open University of Nigeria, and over 100 of them have written West African Examination Council exams.
With high percentage of inmates that sat for the West African Examination Council, WAEC and NECO, obtained good results. This is a proven fact that the service is alive to its finding and being correctional.
Heads of sister security agencies at the occasion commended the service for the training, adding that it will go a long way in setting a new look on the condition of inmates and advised the graduates to impact what they learned in their various places of work.
Training such as this sustain it for the betterment of our dear nation.
Education is defined as experience from the day you are born to the day you go to the grave.
Some of the graduates have this to say on the training.
I feel very great. I feel very happy. All the way from Jos. We are so grateful.
The aim of correctional service is rehabilitation of the inmates and integration of the inmates back to the society.
In Birnin Kebbi, Muhammad Abubakar, NTA News.
The election of local government and state delegates of All Progressives Congress has been conducted peacefully in the state. Sheikh Muhammad Detti reports.
The election of 5 local government and 5 state delegates in most of the wards monitored was conducted peacefully
in the presence of INEC officials and security agents. At Sakini Adar Ward and Tudunwada A Ward in Sokoto South local government, the election was conducted based on consensus as all the candidates were unopposed. The returning officer in charge of Sokoto South, Hussein Goro, while monitoring the exercise, said out of the 5 delegates, 2 must be women with 3 males. He commended the party supporters for conducting themselves in an orderly manner and urged them to sustain the tempo.
I can tell you, based on the reports we received, the result, the exercise is being conducted successfully without any hitch.
Well, actually, I worked in Sagara Atiku, and the atmosphere, it was okay. The people have come out en masse, and they have voted.
The APC is conducting the Congress to elect delegates ahead of the party's presidential primaries. In Sokoto, Shehu Muhammad Datti, NTA News.
And a quick reminder that you can follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on YouTube channel NTA News Online. You can also visit our Twitter at NTA News Now, our Facebook page NTA Network News, and Instagram NTA Network for updates. And that's it from here. It's back to Lami in Abuja for more on Nationwide.
Thank you, Asma'u. Now, the Information and Culture Minister, Lai Mohammed, has assured the world of a successful hosting of UNESCO's 2022 Global Media and Information Literacy Week, scheduled for Abuja from 24th to 31st October 2022. The minister gave the assurance at the opening session of the Media and Information Literacy series of the 3rd World Higher Education Conference in Barcelona, Spain. Lai Mohammed stated the commitment of the federal government to provide a smooth and safe environment for all delegates and solicited the support of UNESCO and partners, as well as government and the organized private sector, in order to ensure successful events. The conference seeks to draw the attention of stakeholders on the relevance of establishing the International Media and Information Literacy Institutes. As the world transits to low-carbon economies, the International Labour Organization is leading the Green Jobs Nigeria project campaign aimed at ensuring a successful implementation of guidelines on sustainable development and green jobs. ILO's constituents comprising the government, employers and labour have met on how to achieve a just transition towards environmentally sustainable economies for every citizen. Emmanuel Anyimiru reports.
Nigeria's climate, like other nations, has been changing with extreme weather conditions. This is affecting the world of work, as it is intimately connected to the natural environment, which also affects workers' ability to do their jobs and even limits the hours of work. These concerns multiplying on a daily basis are what the ILO, government, employers and labor want to mitigate to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals before 2030.
The climate policies and strategies formulated for Nigeria must be carefully planned, implemented, and evaluated to ensure that no one is left behind.
I'm confident and convinced that the challenge can be met with an active policy and participation of the Nigerian authority.
The ILO and its constituent partners are committed to ensuring that a just transition to a sustainable future take place and meets the requirement of the decent work agenda in Nigeria.
ILO tripartite constituents are required to scale up actions in promoting national consultations in support of integrated socio-economic and environmental models that will take into consideration policies that will benefit both the formal and informal sectors, focusing on job creation and social protection as climate change rages. Emmanuel Anyimiru, NTA News.
Lanre is in our studios in Ibadan for updates on that end. Hello, Lanre. It's over to you.
Good to see you, Lami, and welcome to Ibadan. Boosting agricultural production through the availability of locally fabricated agricultural machinery is prerequisite in enhancing food production in Nigeria. This was the submission of key players at an interactive workshop between agricultural experts and farm implement fabricators in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Kayode Oladoshu has details.
With recent improvements from research and technological-driven agricultural production, it is worthy of note that agricultural mechanization is a pathway in ensuring food sustainability. This prompts the attention of critical stakeholders in agricultural value chain to engage domestic agro-equipment fabricators on challenge, prospect, and performance of domestically produced farm equipment compared with foreign ones.
I can tell you, Nigerian fabricators can compete favorably with any of their counterparts all over the world.
The food sufficiency we are talking about cannot come without policies that the stakeholders have a hand in.
The gathering is an avenue to discuss the paradigm shift in agricultural mechanization and the need to reduce drudgery equipment in Nigerian agricultural practices.
There's nothing we can do about it other than to provide all the necessary equipment. For example, where people are using hoes and cutlasses before, they're using for tractors, plows, ridges, and harrows.
There's no way we can achieve the objective that we want to achieve as a nation, and without ensuring that we work towards a modern approach to agricultural costs that contributes strongly by innovation and technology.
The workshop is aimed at harnessing the need for modern agricultural equipment manufacturers to strategically meet demands, partners, investors, and farmers throughout the season. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
Micro, small and medium enterprises, MSMEs, have been identified as significant in value chain of food security and availability. To improve value chain outcomes, research supporting African MSMEs to provide safe and nutritious food is an intervention to understand the mainstream of these food value chains. Grace Ayonleke was at the workshop in preparation for the project and has this report.
Available data reveals that 70% of Africans cannot afford healthy and nutritious diets on a daily basis. This discovery has been attributed to food shortages resulting from post-harvest loss, among other factors. This research supporting African MSMEs to provide safe and nutritious food will focus on the wholesale, logistics, processing and retail segments of the value chains of several products such as fish and tomato.
New solutions, new investments, new ways of approaching things to be able to assure, again, this supply of affordable, safe, and nutritious foods.
The idea is to use research to find out what the root causes are and hopefully innovate solutions.
As retailers laud the intervention, the question is, why tomatoes and fish?
Plus 70% of Nigerians consume fish or fish products in a typical week. However, their consumption level is low relative to global standards, and it's actually quite low in the north, even compared to the south.
It's a very, very good action that we will take about our food, so that all the tomato that there were enough for everyone that you need to come and buy tomato.
The research is a 5-year project funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, led by the Michigan State University in collaboration with partners in Nigeria and Tanzania, which takes off in Ibadan. Grace Ayonleke, NTA News.
Those are the latest reports at this hour from Ibadan Network Center. Nationwide continues with Abubakar at Maiduguri after this break. Do stay with us.
Thanks for staying with us nationwide up to this moment. And this is Maiduguri Network Center. Let's move on now. The need to strengthen multi-stakeholder approach towards providing sustainable protection to vulnerable children has been re-echoed for lasting peace and development. This came up during a 2-day stakeholders workshop by Office of the Special Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on social investment under the Office of the Vice President, Mariam Uwais. Here are more details of the story. Borno has no doubt been badly affected by the activities of Boko Haram insurgents, leading to loss of lives and property, as well as displacement of persons, especially children. This two-day stakeholders workshop was therefore designed to close a series of gaps occasioned by more than a decade-long crisis, especially providing robust protection to children who are considered the most vulnerable among the populace. Representative of the Special Advisor to President Muhammadu Buhari on Social Investment, who is also the National Coordinator at Risk Children Program at P, Mariam Uwais, representative of Borno State Governor and other personalities, described the two-day engagement as a roadmap for the attainment of sustainable peace and progress.
This kind of program will definitely change the narrative because our children will be made to understand the purpose of life and that there's a better alternative to what is being preached on the other side.
I feel Borno State will benefit a lot from this program because at the end of the 9 months training, at the end of the starter packs that will be given to the children, I think a lot of things will change.
Participants were drawn from critical segments of the society for optimum result to be achieved in the long run. And away from that now, management of the Nigerian Television Authority, NTA Maiduguri, has assured to continue partnering with University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital in creating awareness on the need for routine medical checkup by staff across various sectors of the society. Regional Director, NTA Maiduguri, Ishaya Hanania Uba, gave the assurance while receiving family doctors from the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital on a medical outreach to the organization. Jadwa Jasni has more on the report.
There has been a cordial working relationship between the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital and NTA Maiduguri over the years. This team of family doctors from the Department of Family Medicine, UMTH, were on a medical outreach to the organization as part of activities marking the World Family Doctors Day, being celebrated 19th of May every year. HOD Family Medicine UMTH Dr. Abubakar Abiso Mohammed said the choice of NTA Maiduguri for the outreach was in consideration of the nature of their work, which is time demanding and stressful. As such, staff can spare little or no time to undergo medical checkups, thereby giving room for diseases to grow into bigger ailments.
If the NTA is actually helping to spread health across the state, then I think they also need to benefit from these health services from us.
The management and staff of NTA Maiduguri appreciated the family doctors for the gesture, as they now know their sugar level, blood pressure, and other health status.
This thing they are doing as is free. So I told them that this is our relationship to continue partnering.
This is an opportunity that we are able to avail myself. I'm happy I did.
They brought all the medical care right to our doorstep. We thank and appreciate them. This goes to show that our well-being is the concern of the management of NTA Maiduguri, the Zonal Director, and family doctors of UMT.
Over 50 staff of NTA Maiduguri benefited from the medical outreach. In Maiduguri, Jadwa Jesini, NTA News.
If you're just joining us, you're on to Nationwide on Africa's Window to the World, the NTA. Let us at this point return to Lami in Abuja for more reports for us this evening. Do have a lovely weekend.
Thanks a lot, Abubakar. Nigeria and its neighbors are operating in a complex security environment that requires leadership that understands the dynamics and threats posed by the enemies of states. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, stated this in a message in an interagency cooperation seminar at the Nigerian Army War College here in Abuja. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa has the story.
It is quite a challenging time for Nigeria as insecurity tests the strength of the military. The challenges range from terrorism, banditry, and secessionist agitation. To upscale the ongoing efforts to secure the nation, the Nigerian Army War College assembled these state actors and members of the civil society to foster interagency cooperation.
Success in the new warfare paradigm requires joint efforts in a whole of society approach, which entails seamless interagency cooperation and coordination that cut across multiple agencies and stakeholders.
The session is also aimed at promoting rapid intelligence report from the grassroots.
The traditional measures undertaken to counter criminalities in our nation
have so far proven to be insufficient for tackling the threats. Thus, it calls for additional efforts from other actors and stakeholders in order to fully contain them.
There have been a lot of mutual misrepresentation and distrust between the security community and civil society. So when you have an initiative like this that promotes an understanding and advocates for collaboration between these two critical areas of our society, it's an investment that is worth it.
Participants from allied countries experiencing similar security challenges also taking part in the program. From the Nigerian Army War College in Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Now, the federal government says it is committed to ensuring that measurements in trade transactions and other legal metrology activities are fair, legal and accurate. Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment made the commitment as the flag off of activities marking the 2022 World Metrology Day. Every customer as well as business owner desires effective service delivery that guarantees satisfaction and returns on investment in trade transaction and in a manner that is fair, legal and accurate. To this end, the Weight and Measures Department of the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is heeding to the global call for the need to take advantage of new digital technologies that generate and use data that is fair.
It is compelling for the Weight and Measures Department as a public service provider to leverage existing digital technology in the provision of verification activities and Nigeria's revenue generation drive.
We are the police to ensure that marketers are not searching. Whoever searching the members of the public will be sanctioned. The laws are there. We have our regulation. We can prosecute, and we have that power. Nigerians should expect not from us.
The theme, Metrology in the Digital Era, the World Metrology Day is an annual event celebrated on 20th of May by the International Bureau of Weights and Measures and the International Organization of Legal Metrology. The Nigerian and German governments have committed to prioritizing an inclusive and sustainable economic development with focus on climate-friendly investments in job creation, especially for women and youths. The agreement is part of the outcome of a two-day bilateral engagement between the two countries held in Abuja.
During our consultations, we agreed on the following priority areas of Nigerian-German development cooperation. First pillar of our cooperation is the sustainable economic development, training and employment, investing in vocational education and training, skills development, as well as private and financial sector development.
That both countries would continue to cooperate in the area of peace building and conflict prevention. And the last, but certainly not the least, that the private sector will continue to play a catalytic role in Nigeria's economic turnaround.
Now, the Kebbi State Command of the Nigeria Customs Service has intercepted grains and petroleum products worth millions of naira along Kambra-Bunza Road. Ibrahim Hamidu has more on the reports.
We intercepted a trailer loaded with this. We detained it here for some days. They claimed that they had no intention to smuggle it out.
The Customs Area Controller, Kebbi Area Command Joseph Atta, said in compliance with the federal government directives aimed at ensuring food security in the country, the command will ensure more vigilance at its borders to checkmate smugglers who attempt to smuggle out food produce.
The command had intercepted one trailer fully loaded with bags of grain. Joint physical examination of the truck revealed that it contained 800 bags of white sorghum with a duty paid value of 6 million naira.
Following the reopening of Kamba border, the Kebbi Area Command is poised to checkmate all illegal trades for the development of the state and the country. The Nigeria Customs Service Kebbi Area Command is working with all security forces at the borders to block any possible paths smugglers could use. In Birnin Kebbi, Ibrahim Hamidu, NTA News.
The imperative for media practitioners to fully embrace the ethics of the profession has been noted as key to entrenching accountability in governance and building an informed society. Elizabeth Mori reports that this was the thrust of discussions at a capacity-building workshop for journalists.
Journalism plays an important role in democratic societies as it provides investigative reports, analysis, and timely, authentic stories. This capacity workshop is to equip practitioners with requisite knowledge on information sharing based on ethics. Aisha is a greenhorn in the media industry. She's one of the beneficiaries of this training.
Moving forward, I'm going to do more of investigative reportage where I'm going to be more careful with my reporting.
The news Executive Director News, Star Communications, in a lecture emphasized the need for journalists to consider objectivity and human interest in reportage.
The onus is on us to ensure that in everything that we do, we stick with those guidelines that we have, make sure we work within regulation. Sometimes it might mean that we appear a little slow. I mean, you can't compete with social media if it comes to breaking the news. You really can't.
Too many people are getting away because they cannot account for whatever they are doing. And it's the task that all journalists must pull resources together and do investigative journalism.
As the fourth estate of the realm, respect for religious and cultural values, speakers unanimously agreed with the watchword. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
Nigeria Judo Federation says it is making appreciable progress in its quest to commence a judo league in the country. President of the federation, Musa Oshodi, told NTA Sports in Abuja that the league will be used to attract more practitioners and discover the next generation of judokas in the country.
There is one thing that we've been yearning for all this year in judo, the league championship. Because with that, we know it will really take judo to the grassroots. By July now, we're going to have first edition.
Eradicating gender inequality in sports participation, administration and management took center stage at the 11th National Conference of Association of Women in Sports. Ahmed Fulani in Ilorin reports that participants advocate for 40% inclusion of women in sports, while encouraging female athletes to always speak out against discrimination.
Society think that women are weak and they will not be able to cope. They underrate women, and so they underestimate their capability.
Give them the basic knowledge that, when you are participating in sport, it does not really end up in sport, but your future is right there at your hands.
In football, the team of foreign scouts present in Yenagoa Bayelsa State for the ongoing Prosperity Cup are monitoring outstanding talents with the hope of nurturing them and securing deals at top football club sides in the world. The scouts met Governor Doye Diri and commended efforts to constantly engage youth in more grassroots sports championship. In another development, Borussia Dortmund have sacked head coach Marco Rose after just one season in charge, in which the club failed to make impact in the UEFA Champions and Europa Leagues and finishing second in the German League, 8 points behind winners Bayern Munich. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
And that brings us to the end of Nationwide for today. We thank you for watching. Remember, rape is a crime. Join the NTA in its campaign against rape and rapists. Have a good weekend.